Alright, this is where I last left things. I took these holes and put them up here. And this thing is totally different. Alright, that's about what I've got right now. Alright, I'm thinking something like this. Alright, then I can put boards resting on this little part down here that go forward, and resting on here that go back. Either boards or some kind of floor panel pieces. And then the height of this thing is 1 foot. And it's more than 1 foot this way. So that should give a lot of strength for heavy things on it. It looks very small compared to these giant pontoons. Yeah, maybe if I put one of those there and one back here, I don't know, can't get in the way of the door though. Alright, then I can have lower profile things in the front here. And I'll leave 1 meter space in each hole that I'll fill in with boards or floor panels or something. These front ones will have to be lower profile than the back one, because I want to be able to slide stuff right onto the boat. And then in this front part, just up here, I'll have to put a big hinge on the end of here, and then I want to have like a ramp that I can put down into the water or up or wherever it needs to go. Here's the cutaway profile of all these things. It would be nice to put this fat beam further back, but I'm putting it here because it'll take advantage of the strength of the corner here. That'll give a lot of rigidity to the entire boat. So if I connected it back here somewhere, this part is a lot more flexible. I know these front supports don't look like they would hold that much weight because they're so skinny, but it's just because it's not a huge boat. They're like 20 centimeters tall, which is pretty fat. And I'll make sure I use lots of fiberglass in those to make them super strong, to hold whatever weight I'm putting on top of there. And I also need to think about the bottoms being able to accept a third pontoon, because I don't need to do that right away, but you know, when I want to haul really heavy loads, I'll want to be able to slip a third pontoon in there. Alright, I think this is looking good. I'm going to make this piece here first, and then, you know, see where I am. Maybe I'll make those two, but I'll just do that and reevaluate. One funny thing I might have to take advantage of is, since this will be a hollow beam going across, I could cut a hole inside this pontoon and inside that one. There'd be a tube going right across from one pontoon to the other. Although alternatively, I could cut a couple holes in this way and just use it as a storage spot, which might be better. Alright. Oh, this is the back, because that's where the doors are. And I want to work on the front. Let me go over there. Yesterday morning I came out here, and these things were floating away because it was high tide. They were like halfway down there. So I floated them back up and tied them to a stick. Okay, so I want to put this big box tube right across here. And if I remember correctly, this is 30 inches across, and that's 30 inches across. And I want the total width to be 10 feet to get the solar panel roof I want to put on here. Alright, so yeah, these are 2.5 feet wide each. So that's 5 feet total, so I need to make a 5 foot long thing in the middle. Oh, why am I working in feet? It's because the rolls of fiberglass come in feet measurements. And if this one is 5 feet across, this one will be, you know, 6-ish feet across, maybe not quite. But the one out here will be like 7 feet across almost. So I have to make sure those can handle that span. Yeah, 6 or 7 foot span isn't that big. I should be able to make that super strong. I could even put a chunk of wood inside it to give it extra strength, which wouldn't be a problem because it's going to be wrapped with so much fiberglass, no water is ever going to get in there. Although it is kind of nice to know that there's no wood inside, so if there's ever a hole or I really need to put a rivet or a screw into something, it's not an issue. Anyway, I definitely don't need anything for the big box tube, so let me go do that first. Alright, workshop area. Yeah, I left a nice mess up here, didn't I? That's okay. Okay, I think we're going to take this stainless steel sheet, put it on this here table, and get rid of a whole bunch of that stuff. Or I'll just put it on the floor. I have a 16-foot sheet of metal. So if I cut that in half, that'll definitely be long enough for all of my, what are these things called? Tube cross pieces? I don't know. I don't think in English at all. So whenever I'm doing engineering types of stuff in my head and math, my wordiness goes out the window. A lot of times my numberiness even goes out the window because I'm just doing geometry with the actual shapes. Alright. Wait a minute. This is only 12 feet long. If I cut that in half, I've got 2 6s. That's not going to be long enough for all of my thingies.